Today we are doing a guest build it. We're going to be working with a woman who we came across on social media, and some of her projects piqued our interest. So we have come to her house where she gets her inspiration and does her work. Sarah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Kevin. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us. So this is home, right?
This is home.
And what inspired you? Why'd you get into this?
So I honestly got into this when we bought this house about 8-9 years ago, because it was in a great location, but really just needed a lot of work. And so I started doing some projects just to get things moving. And the more I did, the more I wanted to do, because I really enjoyed it.
Necessity is the mother of invention, right? Happens 100%. A lot with new homeowners.
Yeah.
But you enjoy it?
I love it. It's my creative outlet at this point.
Right.
I really enjoy just watching the projects come to life and being able to make my space exactly how I want it, so it's great.
And you post a lot to social. Why? And you enjoy that too?
I do post it on social media. I have a couple of different online channels at Rocky Canyon Rustic, and there's where I share how I do my projects and how I plan my projects, and just trying to teach other women that they can do it too, so it's really fun.
Cool. Well, why don't you show us some of the projects you made?
Yeah, let's go. All right, so this piece actually was a thrifted find, and I just updated it to make it something more functional. And it's kind of hiding a little secret here, because it is actually a dog feeder station. Right in here it holds my dog's food, and then down here this door stays open, and it's got the water and the food bowl and all that fun stuff. So
super clever.
Yeah, makes it look pretty.
Very popular.
Yeah.
How'd this one go over when you posted it?
Really well, actually. People like this a lot, because people like seeing something that you can take like one piece and just turn it into something else, which is really cool.
So you took something existing and you converted it, but you do build stuff from scratch as well.
I do. Sometimes I'll build things from scratch just so that I can find something custom for my space. So I'll typically find something, a piece of inspiration online, and then I'll take that and customize it to my space so that the dimensions are good and it fits exactly what I'm looking for.
Right, and so give me an example of what you did in that situation.
So I recently redid a bathroom, and it's a relatively small bathroom, and I just wanted a really cool style vanity, but I could not find anything to fit that space perfectly. And I found a really cool online inspiration piece, and then I was able to make it myself and do a really good dupe, and it looks very similar, but now it actually fits the space really well. It was really nice to be able to see the piece that I wanted and be able to duplicate it myself for way less money.
Right, cool. All right, good. Well, I know you want to make something for us today, which is terrific, and I know you've got a garage workshop, which I saw, so what do you say we get to it?
I do. Let's go.
All right.
All right, welcome to my workshop.
It's nice to have a garage that you can turn into one.
Absolutely.
All right, so what are we working on?
So today we're going to build a modern side table, and I'm just going to show you the inspiration here. I'm using 3/4 inch maple plywood, and essentially it is a back, a vertical middle, and a curved top, and some shelves.
Right, and so the top shelf here looks like it's stone.
Yeah, so in this particular inspiration, it's a marble top, but the beauty of doing it yourself is that you can actually make it whatever you want. So you can do a faux marble or stain it to match your sides, whatever you really want to do.
Okay, and you said 3/4 ply.
3/4 inch plywood, and I like to use the 2x4 project panels because they're easier to transport to your home.
You don't need a pickup to get those home.
Yep, and so I use a cut list optimizer that I find online that just helps me minimize waste and know exactly how I'm going to make my cuts. So I've got it all planned right here, and we've got 4 separate pieces. 3 from one sheet and 1 from the second sheet.
All right, let's start cutting.
All right, great. So again, using that cut list optimizer, I know exactly where I want my cuts to be. All right, so if you remember, the top and the middle shelves actually have a little arch to them. So now we're gonna add that to this top piece here. And how I'm gonna do this, because it's a rectangle and not a square, is we're going to get the center point of this longest, which is 9. And I'm actually gonna use this as 9 as well, so that if it were a square, we'd be making a circle. But we really just want an arch.
Okay.
So now I'm going to pop a nail right here in that point. And then saw a cool little trick that you can actually just use your measuring tape instead of a string. The measuring tape around.
Hits the edge right there.
Yeah, and I'm going to flip it to do the other side.
Very cool.
I'm going to cut that out, and then once we have this shape, then I'm just going to trace that onto the shelf so that it matches perfectly. And then just using this as my template. All right, then we'll cut that out too. Since this is the middle shelf, we actually need to cut a 3/4 inch piece out of the middle so that it can attach to that vertical piece that goes through the middle. All right, all our pieces are cut, so it's time for assembly, and I'm going to use pocket holes for this piece.
Okay.
What I like to do is just mark along the side that I'm going to be doing pocket holes first, just to make sure I don't mess it up along the way. And then I'm kind of dry fitting as I go as well. So with these shelves, you can find a good way to make sure that they're going the direction that you want. And again, just marking about where I want those pocket holes to go.
So tell me about the followers on your social feed. Do you have any sense as to who they are generally?
I would say mostly women.
Mostly women?
Mostly women. Most of the women tell me that they think that they can't do it themselves. And so my goal is just to show them that it's really not so hard.
There are a lot of people who are already working in the trade that are going to look at this and are going to say, oh, I would have done it a different way.
There's a lot of different ways to do it, and there's a lot of ways that are more beginner friendly, which are really nice. It's a way for people to start in woodworking or home renovation without having all of the tools and all of the skills. Pocket holes are just one way to do joinery. Using a circular saw is just one way to rip down wood, but it's a little less intimidating than using some of those bigger power tools. I'm gonna add a little bit of glue into this hole right here. And then you just push it in, it's gonna dry, and then you trim off the excess. So they are made to have a little bit of excess in there so that it covers the hole completely. Now I'm going to use a little bit of this edge banding, which you can get in any species of wood that you're working with, and it just allows you to get a nice finished look for plywood. It actually has an adhesive bound to the back of it, and you apply it with heat. So I'm using a water-based stain and just brushing it on, and then I'm going to wipe off any excess so we get a nice smooth finish. In order to give it the faux marble top, I'm going to use a little faux marble contact paper.
Well, it
Made
doesn't
longer
get
arms.
any easier than that.
I know, it sure doesn't. And if you have a little bit of a bubble or something, you can just take a flat tool, just work those right out.
You ever think 2 years ago you'd be building your own furniture for your living room?
Yeah, I really didn't, and now I'm just, I'm excited to keep building and learning new skills and up in my game.
Learning and inspiring others to get out there and to give it a try.
Yeah.
Very nice. A real pleasure working with you, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.